Okay, what a good. We are on to week 3 of the Hack Reactor 19-week program, coding bootcamp. As you can see, right there, week 3. I'm just putting my girlfriend's painting that she did back when we were in Alaska. Anyways, digressing. So yeah, this concludes week 3. This week was fully focused on Django, building out our first full stack project app with Django, and it's certainly not finished yet, but we have a great immersive experience and head start into the build out project. Oh, hello beautiful people. We're off to a Tuesday start. It is now lunchtime on the first day of this week of class, and where I'm right now, it is raining cats and not dogs, because the dog I have is right next to me, Ninja, and she actually gets scared when it is raining quite loud. And when there's thunder. It hasn't thundered yet, or lightning yet, but it certainly is coming. I'm sure this will upset her when I leave. Sorry, this is a joke for that. Look, it's coming down nice and good. Very grateful I'm inside right now. Muchos lluvia. Ha! Coming to you from a Wednesday, halfway through the week, during the Hack Reactor course. And this is what I do during my 5-minute break sometimes if the weather's nice, which it's decent right now. It's cloudy, but it's nice and pleasant. Come outside onto this concha basketball court. Got a little dog poached up there too. And I do pull-ups. Or many other exercises. I'm not gonna stretch, but this is gonna be a weird angle, but whatever. We're gonna share it because that's what we do. We just knock out pull-ups. Generally do anywhere from like 12 to 25. And since I'm not really counting right now, I'm just gonna go until I can't do any more. But yeah, we usually get 5-minute breaks, and I always try to get outside during my 5-minute breaks. And pull-ups a lot harder. I need to talk, so I'm gonna get back to it. And yeah, check in later with what I got going on, learning, challenges, and other things in life. Ciao, ciao for now. All right, it's just officially lunchtime on a Thursday, and I'm about to go outside, get some movement in after I just did the dishes with my TRX. I had this TRX since I was living in Florida back in 2017. It's the military model, so it's very durable. So yeah, 2017, that's like 6 years, and yeah, I've gotten so much use out of it on travel. But as I'm about to embark and take off and enjoy the sunshine over in that direction, there's a concha or a basketball court that I'll look it up to. And there's a really weird thing. No idea what that is. What would you call that? Call it the Colombian Special Insecto. Wow, but what is this? A dog? A dog? All right, enough of the funny business. I'm gonna get to it and get some movement in. Ciao, Mindra. Okay, in the fonda in there, the background, this is the town of Santa Rosa. This is the pool of the complex that we're living in. And this complex also has a basketball court. Basketball / football or soccer court. And during the weekday and midday of the weekday, no one ever uses it because the kids are where else? In school, making trouble. Almost on my phone there. And I just want to show you one of the resident dogs that doesn't look like it should be in Colombia or in this complex because it's so massive. Check out this boy. Or girl. I think it's a girl. Look at this guy. Hola. Ooh, not very happy growling. Okay, let's get to working out. Good morning, world. Coming to you on a Saturday. Just got done doing a little debugging on the Django project, and we're gonna say hello to Miss Omendra. We're getting the dog time in, huh? She's very happy and excited and really chilled out. We're gonna carry on with the day. Hopefully, I get to show you offices or really apartments, but we're gonna use them as offices. So we're doing a little scouting. Gonna check them out. Don't know what Omendra's doing right now, but she's doing her thing. Isn't that right? Ninja's got a really interesting story that I'll have to share at another time because it's always nice to have cliffhangers in a video. Ciao, Mindra! Amor, are we going to the Moroccan restaurant? It's a yes. The first 2 days of this week were mainly focused on CSS, and then the second day, that's when we got into just how to install the process that goes into installing your Django project. That first, just starting with your pip. It's like a Python program you use in your terminal that pulls from different libraries. It allows you to then install the Django library, which is just kind of like the basic starter template. And then from there, we're working on our project from the previous HTML and CSS project, which was a recipes. And so if that doesn't give you a hint, that the Django project itself is a kind of like a recipe blog. So being able to create different recipes on a create web page you do that then automatically updates to your homepage or your list of different recipes. And yeah, that's a good amount of it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just transition to a screen share so you can see it right now where I'm at with my Django project, so it's not finished yet. Okay, so this is just a quick screen recording of the Django project that I am currently working on and where I'm at with it. As you can see, I have a special guest in the background that is the one and only Don Orlando. Hey, Don Orlando. Don Orlando Butrago. He is a doctor, but he is my suegro. He's my girlfriend's father. And without further ado, I'm just gonna show you the files right now I have, not one by one, because that's too much to handle right now, I feel like. So these are all the files that I've created through the Django process, through my pip installation. And I wanna draw your attention first into my project title, and that's called Scrumptious. And in the project title, I just wanna draw your attention to 2 folders, your settings folder. And in your settings folder, when you do create an app, you can have many apps in your Django project. My first and only app I have so far is going to be the recipes.apps. And when you do create an app, you're gonna have to go into the installed apps portion here and enter that in. We got movement in the background, it's good stuff. And then you're also, upon doing that, you're gonna go to urls.py, and you have 2 URLs in your Django project itself. You have one in your projects folder and you have one in your apps folder. And the best way to do it that's been recommended is upon creating your URLs, you want to first go to your URLs project folder here, and you want to build out essentially your URL path for your app itself. So you're always going to have admin, that's always included in a Django project. And then the recipes is basically the name of my app, recipes. And so from this pathway, I can then go into my apps pathway right here and have different pages laid out. So every time I create a new pathway or a new page, essentially these basically mean new web pages is the best way to interpret it. I don't have to always type out recipes / show the recipe, / create the recipe. So these essentially allow me to display 4 different pages in my web app. And a little bit of, I know I showed it earlier, but I'm gonna show it now again. The layout of how kind of a Django response and request works. You have the view folder, and your view folder holds and stores like all of your functions that are gonna be used. So the functions I have created for this app are just displaying each individual recipe. That's where you have the list recipes, that's where you have the show recipes, and then I also have 2 additional functions being the create recipe and the edit recipe. Now my layout is done through HTML. So I have four different HTML templates as well as a base template. I'm not taking any more detail because I don't want to make this any longer than it is right now. So without further ado, let's actually open up the terminal. And Mr. Darnolino is making his appearance back again. Let's open up the terminal and let's go ahead and run this bad boy. I think I was actually already running it, but we're going to stop the program and rerun it. So we're going to rerun the server, and then we're going to go to this address. And upon opening this address, we're then going to go to the pathway that I've created, recipes. And this is what I have so far for my homepage. This is the CS I'm using. It's more of just tinkering around different layouts. I'm more right now, again, focused on just understanding the inner workings of all the files and how they work together. So this is the first page I have, which is just recipes. I then have the next page, which is going to be displaying each individual recipe. And then you have the ability to edit it, which I have not finished yet. So this is where I'm at right now. I don't know how to have the capabilities. I have it programmed out. I just don't have the display for it. So I need to work on my HTML. That's something I'm maybe doing here in the future because he's putting his watch back on. And last but not least, the create a recipe page. So this is where I can actually live in the flesh. So you can see here, there's nothing displayed at the moment for what I'm about to do. So you're gonna see another box pop up and it's gonna have a different title. Let's give it the title of hot dog. So I can actually go in here, create a recipe, type in hot dog. Picture, there will not be a picture because the default picture is basically going to be a template or a default picture of nothing, but just a dimension of a blank picture. This is my test picture. And voila, let's hit create. And the neat thing is, it is now been created. Look at that, hot dog with my pre-default picture if there's no picture uploaded. And last but not least, if I go to my admin, we can have a look at the database. I'm already signed in as Xander because that's my name. And this is the database of the recipes that have been created. Check it out at some point. There we go, loaded. So hot dog pizza, all these have been inputted. These last three have actually been created through just my create function. And yeah, this is what I'm at so far. So I'm looking forward to enhancing my edit recipe ability and also building out a login. And I think there's some other additional things this week that we're coming on doing. So this is where I stand right now with my Django project. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get back to the other Xander. Ciao. And has a lot more to work on. I think that's always going to be the case anytime you're just creating projects on different frameworks, different apps you're working on, or just again the project itself. Is you're never really going to feel fully like done with it. You're always going to have to be improving it. You're always learning new things that go along with it. I know my focus right now with this project is not like the CSS aspect, but I'm really more concerned with just learning the architecture behind how Django works with all the different files, why they're laid out the way they are, why they're organized the way they are. And really it has to start with the whole relationship between like a client browser, so like any web browser you use, and you're entering an HTTPS or like an address, a web address to go to a different website, and that address being relayed to a server somewhere in the world, and what happens between the client and the server that allows that website, that app to work is just quite interesting to me. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Good week overall. Talking to people this past the Friday. I wasn't aware this was part of the program, but there's like a social hack hour, and that's where other cohorts from other time zones of the Hack Reactor program get together on a Zoom call and do like a little breakout game, do a little networking that way to get to know other people in the program. They're not the same. Some of them are in different modules. Right now I'm in module 1. There were some individuals in module 3. There were some individuals in the 12-week program that's just JavaScript focused. There was a guest speaker, and yeah, it was just a different aspect to it. I think me personally, well, I guess just who I am and like what I like to do and what I don't focus on. It's not something I was really like too much, but hey, it's all good. Enjoy it nonetheless, and I see the opportunity in it and go from there. I'm also going to throw up on the screen probably some footage throughout the week, just some activities I've done outside of coding, just for my own mental health. Also today, we went, my girlfriend, her family, and me, we went on a nice like 4-hour walk in the countryside and this area just outside Santa Rosa. It's still part of Santa Rosa de Cabal, but it's called Guare. It's kind of like I would describe it as like a really nice countryside area where a lot of more of like the wealthier individuals live in this area, or one of the areas where a lot of wealthy people live. So you see like bigger, called fincas, but bigger farms. So you're seeing that footage right now at some point. You might have already seen it before, I just mentioned that, but you're definitely seeing it right now on the screen. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to this coming week. It's just getting more and more Django. If you look at when I look at the class schedule, the class calendar, it's just more Django. And then actually we're going to start, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, another Django project. So we're just going full board into Django, and there's certainly a lot to be learning there, and it's just one step at a time. You go from there. Yeah, I'm just really excited about learning this framework. Any more more detailed aspects to this week I've laid out in my blog on my website, so please feel free to read that if you're interested in knowing more of my thoughts. Another thing that's outside of coding that happened to me this week is I now have the potential to go through the process of becoming baptized here in Colombia. Never thought that was going to happen. But yeah, I look forward to sharing a little more details on that coming next week, because I'll find out more. But I did attend a session with my girlfriend. This is where myself and Val were last week, chilling. Not with Poppy though. Also, side note, this is my mom's artwork. Being born in Colombia. And her mom to talk to the father of the church here in Santa Rosa de Cabal when it comes to the process that I have to do in order to become baptized. It's quite lengthy. Originally, from what he explained to us, is it's actually a 1-year process, and I'm not going to be able to do that through my current visa situation. So I guess my girlfriend's father talked to him after the meeting, because there were other individuals in the room that are going through the process of becoming baptized. And sure enough, guess what? They're all kids. I was definitely the oldest person there, because in the country of Colombia, where the main religion is Catholic, most individuals are already baptized by the age of 10. I think they get baptized around 5 or 6. There's different ceremonies, different levels to it. And I'm not the right person to be talking about this because I don't know it, but I know, for instance, my girlfriend and other people I know got baptized when they're 10. They also do something when they're in their later teens. So in this case, if I was going to get baptized, I am behind the curve from that standpoint, but there's no such thing as a limit to this age. Anyways, as you can tell, week 3 is going well for me. Yeah, what I've really enjoyed is the errors. When it comes to just continually running my server on my Django project and having to debug it. At times they're a little bit frustrating, but it's good that I get frustrated because I eventually learn from my errors, and it just allows me deeper insight to my Django project. So with that, I'm gonna stop myself now because this video will keep going and going and going, and I don't want it to be too long, even though it's probably already long enough. But nonetheless, on to week 4. This concludes week 3 of the Django Python Hack Reactor program. Yeah, as always, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, would love to hear from you. If you have any questions about Colombia, where I'm at in the world, if you have any questions about the program, if you have any questions about Django, Python, JavaScript, React, those are kind of my experiences so far with my coding journey. And I look forward to continue documenting more and more and sharing more, as well as just the lifestyle I'm living here in Santa Rosa de Cabal for the time being and keeping it healthy. So with that, Xander signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, love, unity, respect, mucho amor, paz. Nos vemos el próximo. Ciao.